A cold mist lingers over shuttered houses. Church bells echo in the distance. A scent of burning herbs drifts through narrow streets. This is what medieval people believed about the plague, a time when fear, faith, and forgotten rituals shaped survival. Subscribe and tap the bell to uncover more .com history journeys. Tonight, step into a world of strange cures and hidden beliefs, and discover what people truly thought caused the plague. Asterisk, the bell tolls across a medieval town. Its deep sound rolls through crooked streets, echoing against timbered houses where shutters are sealed tight. The air is heavy with smoke from juniper fires, mixed with the sour stench of rot and decay. Flies gather at doors painted with black crosses. A cart creaks forward, wheels grinding against cobblestones, as a lone voice calls in monotone, "Bring out your dead." This is what medieval people believed about the plague, not just a story of sickness, but of fear, strange traditions, and forgotten daily habits shaped by desperation. If you're enjoying this journey into forgotten lives, don't forget to subscribe for more untold histories, strange customs, brutal conditions, and the hidden rhythms of medieval daily life. The plague first arrived in Europe in 1347, spreading from ships in Mediterranean ports. Today, we know it was carried by fleas on black rats, caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, but medieval people did not see germs. Instead, they sought explanations in the air, to the heavens, and the anger of God. Asterisk, the most common theory was miasma, poisoned air. Unusual fogs, foul odors, and sudden winds were thought to carry invisible corruption. People carried posies of herbs, pressed cloths soaked in rosewater to their mouths, or chewed cloves to sweeten the breath. Wealthier citizens wore pomanders, small balls filled with spices and resin. But what about the poor, who could not afford herbs or perfumes? They turned to smoke. Fires of pine or pitch burned in the streets. Homes were hung with lavender, rosemary, or juniper branches. The sharp scent mixed with sickness, a forgotten daily tradition of survival. Asterisk astrology offered another explanation. In 1348, scholars at the Paris medical faculty declared that the rare conjunction of Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars had poisoned the air. Astrological charts were copied into chronicles. Priests warned that the heavens themselves had unleashed pestilence. To medieval eyes, the stars seemed to accuse humanity. Could the skies truly hold the cause of such suffering? Asterisk religion brought both dread and hope. Many saw plague as divine punishment for sin. Preachers thundered warnings of God's wrath. Processions filled the streets, penitents chanting prayers, their voices low and haunting. Then came the flagellants groups, who whipped themselves in public squares, blood streaking their backs as they sang hymns. They believed pain would atone for humanity's guilt and drive the disease away. The sound of leather striking flesh echoed through marketplaces, strange and brutal. Asterisk. A procession of flagellants moving barefoot through a medieval town. Their chants rise in rhythm as whips crack against their backs. Blood drips. The crowd watches in silence, believing these brutal acts could drive away the plague. It was faith, fear, and spectacle, a strange tradition born from despair. Asterisk. Others turned to saints for protection. Candles burned before images of Saint Sebastian and Saint Roch. Pilgrims walked to shrines, hoping relics would guard them. Holy water sprinkled thresholds. Charms were tied around the neck. Yet even the devout fell ill. If prayer could not save the innocent, what unseen forces remained? Asterisk suspicion turned outward. Whispers accused outsiders of poisoning wells. In many towns, Jewish communities were blamed, leading to brutal massacres. Lepers, beggars, even travelers were sometimes hunted as culprits. The plague was not just a medical disaster, but a social one, exposing how fragile trust was in medieval daily life. Asterisk, odd remedies emerged. Physicians prescribed potions made from crushed emeralds, onions, or ground snakes. Some advise sitting between two roaring fires to cleanse the body. Vinegar was used for everything: washing coins, rinsing hands, even bathing the sick. Amulets with written charms were worn under clothing, the words thought to shield against invisible forces. But how many lives were spent in silence, clutching charms while bells tolled for the dead? The soundscape of plague was unforgettable. Church bells rang constantly. Monks chanted over mass graves. Streets once filled with markets grew quiet, broken only by coughs behind closed shutters. Doors marked with lime and crosses glowed faintly white in the dusk. Flies buzzed against windows, drawn to the sick inside. Even silence itself carried weight, the silence of whole houses where no voices remained. Asterisk food, too, was shaped by belief. Physicians advised avoiding rich meats and wine, recommending lighter diets: bread, onions, vinegar drinks. In some places, people ate sour fruits and cucumbers, thought to cool the body's humors. Forgotten daily traditions of fasting, already central to faith, were reframed as treatments. To eat simply was not just devotion, but medicine. Quarantine slowly emerged. Entire houses were locked. Ships at harbor waited 40 days before unloading. Villages sealed gates, refusing entry to strangers. Clothes and bedding were burned. These measures foreshadowed modern public health, but in the 14th century, they were driven more by fear than science. But what must it have felt like to wait behind barred doors, hearing only footsteps fading outside? Imagine walking a medieval street at dusk. Every door bears a black cross. A priest moves slowly, sprinkling holy water. Behind shutters, faint coughing drifts out. The air reeks of smoke and rot. It feels as if death itself waits at every corner, silent and unseen. Asterisk. By the late 14th century, plague had reshaped Europe. Entire villages vanished. Cities lost half their people, and yet those who remained endured. They lit juniper fires, clutched amulets, carried posies of herbs, and marched in brutal, flagellant processions. Strange remedies, forgotten daily traditions, and desperate faith became their shield against the unknown. Listen once more. The bell tolls across a darkened town. Smoke drifts above rooftops, and the stars glimmer coldly overhead. The same stars many believed had unleashed the plague. This is the enduring story of what medieval people believed about the plague. And so the question lingers: would we endure as they once did, clinging to strange traditions, forgotten remedies, and silence in the shadow of death?